Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Inshallah today our group will present to all of you about the application of Qard Al-hasan contract in saving account at Bank Rakyat. So our group consists of Muhammad Nur Hakim bin Hisan, Syed Al-Amin bin Syed Khairullah, Muhammad Ammar, Sufyan bin Muhammad Jais, and Muhammad Fikri Syahmi bin Saharuddin. So as we know, the usury is forbidden in Islam, as Allah said in the Quran. وأحل الله البيع وحرم الربا. So the application of Qard Al-hasan can help us to avoid the usury. So our group will explain more detail about the Qard Al-hasan, inshallah.
The word Qard in Arabic literally means cutting off. Meanwhile, the word Hasan in Arabic means splendid or beautiful. These two words are from Arabic word. So when we combine the two words, it will bring meaning to beautiful loan and he expect the borrower to repay. The literally meaning of Qard Al-hasan is a beautiful loan, and it is basically a loan or credit given by the lender without expectation to get return on the principal. Behind the meaning of beautiful loan that we can find is a form of loan given without additional fees or charges imposed on the borrower. Next is proof of implementation. The application of Qard Al-hasan is not precisely stated in Quran or Hadith. However, there are several Quran passages that include the term Qard Al-hasan. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said in Surah At-Taghabun verse 17, the meaning is, if you loan Allah a goodly loan, He will multiply it for you and forgive you, and Allah is most appreciative and forgiving. And it also included in Hadith when Ibn Mas'ud narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, it is not Muslim they will lend Muslim others twice except the other is alms. Hadith riwayat Ibn Majah. Next is pillars of Qard Al-hasan. There are 4 pillars in Qard Al-hasan. First is creditors or muqrid, a person who borrow things or money. Second is debtors or muqtarid, a person who lends an item or money to a borrower, as we know, like a bank. Third is subject of debt or mal muqrad. The main condition for the property to be lent is that the property is beneficial and remains its substance. The last is sirah, have ijab for offer and qabul for accept. Qard Al-hasan will not be executed except by utterance, because utterance can manifest one's willingness to perform a contract. Next is modus operandi Qard Al-hasan in saving account. Qard Al-hasan has methods and sequences in the operation of saving account. First step is the two parties involved in a contract of Qard Al-hasan, who are the depositor and the bank for agreement. Second is savings of money by depositors to banks. Third is the bank leverage the savings by investing in the business. Fourth, the businessman hands over the proceeds to the bank. And last is the bank gives a bonus or hibah to the depositors.
Objectives of Qard Al-hasan. Firstly, to equalize the poor and rich, so that both can enjoy the pleasure of life. Secondly, to do good deeds, as required by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala to each of His servants, so that life is blessed. Thirdly, to strengthen the country's economy, so that the country can compete with other developed countries and will be highly regarded by them. Next, to show the purified of Islam, by giving Qard Al-hasan to non-Muslims, thus can be a da'wah to them. Finally, to be a share in the hereafter, because Qard Al-hasan is a noble practice.
Okay, next we go to the Qard Al-hasan product offer in Malaysia. Firstly, firstly is the Qard Al-hasan in loan financing scheme. It is common knowledge that the principle in Islamic muamalat do not allow any loan that has interest rate because it's considered as riba. In Islam forbids the concept of loans made on the basis of excess of the original loan amount made by the borrower. And basically, it is best seen as oppressive on the part of the borrower, and there is an element of injustice in the transactions. Qard Al-hasan is a form of a loan based on the concept of consent, where the borrower will help those who need help when in trouble, and then not just have to repay the money based on the amount they borrowed in the beginning. There are several financing institutions and cooperative in Malaysia that have offered several financial loans scheme to those in the need. A part of that, as a result of the government cooperation with several banking financial institutions in the Malaysia, such as Bank Kerjasama Rakyat Malaysia Berhad. Second product is in the Ar-Rahnu concept, Qard Al-hasan in Ar-Rahnu concept. The bond scheme, or better known as Ar-Rahnu, has been expanded by the various financial institutions and cooperatives in Malaysia. The main objective of the Ar-Rahnu is the same of personal financing, which is get money but secured with gold and so on. It's seen to reduce the burden if the person is unable to repay the financing with the gold collateral. If the pawnbroker is unable to pay within a prescribed period or given extended period, and then the pawnbroker is entitled to auction in the manner prescribed in Islam, and auction proceeds can be taken by the pawnbroker sufficient that's the amount of the financing, borrow, and the storage fee charge. Next, the difference of loans and financing. According to Osman Sabran 2001, loans and financing has a difference. Firstly, for loans that prioritize charitable activities. For financing is more focused on trade activities. Number two, the loan does not involve a large amount of money. And number two, for financing prioritizes profit over financing and also does not run away from the concept of welfare. Number three, the loan made is not tied to period that is too long. For financing, number three, the profit earned will be distributed fairly between the lender or capitalist and the borrower or entrepreneur. And lastly, for loans is insolvent. Loans are not encouraged to be written off only after the borrower is asked to pay as much as he can offer effort. Financing has many branches to help financing applicant or business entrepreneurs. But now, for the loans, if the borrower is late to repay the loans within the stipulated period, the borrower will be fined 1%. It is also known as ta'wid or compensations. The 1% rate has been set by Negara Malaysia to reduce the risk of non-performing loans (NPL). Now, Islamic financing, for Islamic financing, products are also offered to meet the needs of consumers among Muslims who are increasingly in high demand. In 2011, Islamic financing product offered more than 20 financing products showed a relatively satisfactory increase of 11% compared to the previous years. The increase in Islamic financing product was 11% compared to the previous years.
Qard Al-hasan application in Bank Rakyat. Bank Rakyat Savings Account I adopts the Qard Al-hasan concept. Bank Rakyat Savings Account is divided into three parts, which are adults, teenagers, and Nuri. Adults account can be registered by all walks of life provided they are aged 12 years and above. Teenagers account is especially for those aged 15 to 21, and Nuri is open to children under the age of 12 and is run by their guardians. Minimum ringgit Malaysia will be charged as deposit to open an account. Customer will get an ATM card. The eligibility is open to citizens and non-citizens. For citizens, can open individual account, join individuals, association clubs, mosque committees, cooperative, and companies. For non-citizens, only individual account are allowed. Fees and charge. Charge for replacing the loss of debit card is 12 ringgit Malaysia, and for the damage of card chip is free. Charge for replacing the loss of passbook is 16 ringgit Malaysia, and for the damage of passbook is 5 ringgit Malaysia. Charge for close an account is 10 ringgit Malaysia, but the account must be less than 3 months from opening the account. Hibah rate. The money in this account from 0 ringgit Malaysia to 999 ringgit Malaysia has no hibah rate. But if the value of money is 1,000 ringgit Malaysia to 99,999 ringgit Malaysia, the hibah rate is 1% per year. The hibah rate for 100,000 ringgit Malaysia and above is 1.25% per year. The hibah rate mentioned is the hibah rate that has been paid by the bank to the depositor.
Okay, so for the current issue on Qard Al-hasan, there are two main points. The first one is the risk of the financing is in high value and they have no guarantee to verify. Okay, as we know, the debtor that borrow the money from the bank is a person that have that very desperate for the money to continue their life. So the situation will make the person have some problems to repay the debt to the bank. So if the situation will make the bank have a problem and will increase the percentage of non-performing loan. So this percentage will affect the achievement of the bank and will decide the stability of the banks. Okay, so the point number 2, some community assume that the Qard Al-hasan is a type of charity. Okay, so this situation make some of the debtor think that they not have to repay the debt. So this thing is totally wrong. As we know, the Qard Al-hasan is a type of transaction that we borrow some money from the bank and we have to repay back the money with no interest. Okay, so this view must be corrected in order to get trust from Islamic banks. Okay, so if the thoughts is still in the same and not changed, it will be hard for the bank party to proceed with this Qard Al-hasan to help those people in need. Okay.
For conclusion, in fact, Islam also encouraged the practice of lending and borrowing to ensure survival, but the practice cannot be done unless in a desperate situation and really need financial assistance. Significant developments in the Islamic financial system have resulted in the application of Qard Al-hasan in Islamic banking by increasing the availability of Qard Al-hasan in saving accounts, and is now one of the many product available in majority of Islamic banking institutions around the world. However, the major goal of the implementation of Qard Al-hasan is not to make a profit for banking institutions alone, but rather to benefit charity and support individuals in financial need.